Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that's inspiring leadership and humanity within and beyond the workplace. It is so good to be with you all today. What is the difference? What is the difference between being connected in purpose and on purpose? I was invited and attended a sorority event in the city, and I was a vendor there, sharing my cards. I was sharing my experience. It's an interactive session where people can share their stories. They can really pause and think and move outside of the small talk into more meaningful conversations. And so I had my cards on the table, and the people that were walking by, they were able to experience them and think about it, read the question and reflect and share their experiences and listen to someone else share their experience and how they thought about the question differently. Their responses were totally different. It made a connection. It brought more understanding. And so I was just doing what I love. And at the same time, I'm looking at them interacting in love. I'm looking at them. Number one, it was taking me back to my days at Tuskegee University, where I was around all the sororities and the fraternities. I never did join, but I was just looking and I was like, wow, they have each other. There are so many people out here that have no one. But when you are in a sorority, when you are in a fraternity, you already have that connection, you have that bond, you have that foundation, you have those principles. So you have someone to confide in, you have someone to ask questions, to get help. You already have those built-in resources. And I'm looking in at them and I'm listening to what is being said and the impact that is being made in the community and in schools and with children and all of these businesses doing phenomenal things. I said, wow, they are really connected. They are connected in purpose. And if you've been listening to me, what I speak about is connection. I really, really understand and believe that we all need it, that it's necessary. And it doesn't mean that we are all in agreement. Just like unity, you can be unified, but not have to think alike, not have to be in agreement all the time. But as I was thinking, like, wow, okay, yes, they are connected in purpose. Then I said, no, they are connected on purpose. Then I was thinking to myself, okay, well, what's the difference? And that's why I'm here today. This is what I wanted to discuss today with you all. When I was at this sorority event, shout out to all the Deltas, I realized that they were connected in purpose. It was intentional. There was a mission. There was a goal. It was appointed. It was known. It was, well, both can be meaningful, but it was a shared cause. There was a mission for it. That was connection in purpose. When they met, they already knew what it was about. Then there's connection on purpose. And when you hear the term on purpose, you automatically think it was planned. But as I was thinking, connection on purpose is not always planned. Connection in purpose is intentional. Connection on purpose is more divine, it's unplanned, it's happenstance. There was no plan, no rhyme or reason, but it just occurred. Just like the way that I was even invited to that event. I was invited by someone from a connection in purpose from a previous meeting, but we had a small conversation. We exchanged information. And then she said, hey, this would be a great opportunity for you. Or would you be interested in it? And that's how I landed that opportunity. And then there's connections made there. So even if it starts as connection in purpose, it can graduate, it can evolve into on purpose, bringing you closer to your destiny, bringing you closer to your goals, your dreams, your mission. Who are you connected to? Since the pandemic, so many of us are, number one, a lot of people are working from home. They are working remotely. They are not going out as they did before. They have changed how they move, how they socialize. They have gotten comfortable in solitude. While solitude is very important, it is necessary to have relationships and to be connected and to be able to have conversations and share thoughts and experiences to broaden everyone's understanding. Connected in purpose or on purpose? How have you gotten to where you are now? How was that connection, that relationship derived? What are you missing? Maybe you don't have that connection. What rooms do you need to be in? As I was standing there, I'm thinking about the difference of in purpose, on purpose, but then I'm thinking about connection itself. Connected on purpose seems accidental. It is unexpected. We don't know where it's going to take us. We find that out along the way. When we think of connections and networking, let's say networking, it's time to stop thinking about what other people can do for you. What can you do for them? When you get in the room, what value are you bringing? What energy are you bringing? What knowledge are you bringing? What power? What insight? What comfort? What are you bringing to the rooms you're walking in? It's not about who we're connected to all the time, but what are they getting when they are connected to us? What experience are you creating? What memories are you creating? I just want to drop that right there because I really wanted to make sure that when we walk in these rooms, when we are in these rooms, when we are surrounded by other people, it's not about titles. What can you do for them? Don't be the person that is always looking to get something, looking to receive. What are you giving? What are you providing? What is your asset? What is it that you have that someone else needs? Don't walk in a room empty-handed. Now, as I was writing all of my notes and trying to get prepared for this episode, I started thinking about Ruth and Naomi, and how it all ties in together. It's a story about a woman who had 2 sons and a husband, right? Her name was Naomi. Naomi lost both sons and a husband after she had traveled to a different region, right? Her sons both married. So now she has herself and she has 2 daughters-in-law. After all of this loss, she decided to go back home. And she really wanted to go back home alone. But no, one of her daughter-in-laws decided to stay where they were, but the other one wanted to tag along, Ruth. Ruth said, I'm going wherever you go. She had already became a widow, and while that land was familiar to her, she just wanted to be with Naomi, her mother-in-law. And so they traveled, and there Ruth went out to go glean in the field. She was going to collect food and everything. And she met Boaz. So as she is gathering food, as she is in that field, Boaz noticed her. He didn't embarrass her. He didn't call her out. He actually told her to stay there. And he told her where to get water from. So he is really giving her all of these resources. And she's trying to figure out, why are you being so nice to me? You don't know me. And he says, no, I've heard about you. I've heard about your loyalty to Naomi. You see, the streets talk. The streets talk. What are you doing that makes you memorable? What are you doing that has everyone talking about? Even when we are not connected, there are observers, there are people watching us, and the word spreads. You see, that is a story of connected on purpose. She didn't plan for her husband to die. She didn't plan to move away from her family and what she knew. She didn't plan to be looking for food, and she didn't know that Boaz was going to come to her and rescue her and provide for her. She didn't know that, but it was still connection on purpose. It was unplanned, but divine. Based on your activities this weekend, what are people saying about? What was their experience with you? What did they learn from you? What did they take from you? What was the conversation about? Was it about other people? Was it of substance? Are you pouring in or are you draining out? And I know some of you are listening like, what does this have to do with the workplace? It has a lot to do with the workplace, because in the workplace, we're always talking about connection, but you can't connect if you don't care. You cannot connect if you don't care. So yes, in the workplace, many leaders are saying, yes, they know that employees are their biggest asset, but they don't treat them or their concerns as such. So it's just words. There's no connection. There's nothing that either can get from that or can grow from that. And proximity doesn't mean connection. Just because we're on the same team or in the same building, in the same office, it does not mean that there is connection. Gallup reports that only 20% of employees are satisfied and feel connected in their workplace. 20%. Companies are so focused on their bottom line. If they were really focused on their bottom line, they would put the people first, because that is what creates improved morale. That's what creates improved productivity. If you are out there and you have to beg people to work a little longer, or to put in, or to be more creative and bring new ideas and innovation and find ways to increase efficiency and process improvement. If they don't want to be bothered and they just want to go home because how they've been treated or not treated, then you're doing yourself and the organization a disservice. You have to care. And to care, there has to be some kind of connection. We can't say one thing with our words and do something else with our action. How are you connecting with your teams? How are you connecting with them individually and collectively? As the communication accountant, I tell you that every interaction is either adding value or taking it away. What are you doing? We can point fingers all day long and talk about how we don't like what someone else is doing, but what are you doing? What is your value add? What is your purpose? I heard my daughter talking the other day saying, I don't even want to work. Even though she does work, she enjoys her job. But down the line, she's like, I don't want to have to, what she was saying was basically, I don't want to have to work to pay bills. And no one does. I get that. But how she said it was, she just didn't want to work. And so what I am instilling in her and telling her is that you still have a purpose. Regardless of which career field you choose, you're not going to just sit around and do anything. You have a divine assignment. You have work to do. You have a purpose. There is something that you have to give. There's something that you have to find. There's something you have to connect with. There is something in you that the world needs. And I am here to tell you the same thing. Get connected. Get connected. Yes, you're tired of people. Yes, your family gets on your nerves. Yes, you've been let down. Or maybe you just need to be in a different room around different people. People aren't the problem. Miscommunication is. I encourage everyone to get out there and get connected. That event that I attended, it was beautiful. And it's not something that I had never seen before. It was just the mindset that I was in and what I was observing, whether it was at my table with my conversation cards or just looking at how they were there to support each other, to support their cause, or to recognize people for what they're doing in the community. It's important. It's important to see that. If you are tuned into the news all the time and you're always hearing negativity, you'll never see what else is going on in the world, what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community. Get connected. Be a part of something bigger and better. We all have something to contribute, whether you are connecting in purpose or connecting on purpose. Get connected, y'all. I am your host, Kim, the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. If you have not checked out my questions and perspectives conversation cards, go to my website, KimUnitySolutions.com, and click on shop, and you will see questions and perspectives cards. You can get your free deck, a free sample deck, by putting in your name and your email, and you will be able to experience it and share the experience with someone else around you immediately. It will be emailed to you. And start having conversations, get connected, get understanding, start thinking deeper and reaching your hands farther. Until next time, you all be blessed. You have been listening to the KimUnity Solutions podcast. Bye-bye.